The plans I made when I was a kid. Told moms I can't go live no normal life, won't stop till I'm rich. Said where were you when I was down bad, and the money coming to me so fast. Let the whole she a big dog, straightforward with it, I don't go back. Everybody living better, I still remember times when it broke down. Tried it on this come up, I gotta get a bag for the fam now, but I got nobody to lean on, got a cold.
Yo, what's up guys, I'm back with another highlights video tutorial. You will need Sapphire and BCC plugins. There's a link in the description with videos to go download the plugins, and I recommend using Vegas Pro 16. Use Vegas Pro 16. For the intro, you're gonna need Adobe After Effects, and there's a link in the description on how to download After Effects. Alright, so first you're gonna want to download Adobe After Effects. The tutorial to download that is in the description, just go to that. You're gonna want to download the plugins, the Sapphire and Universe plugins for it, and also the two fonts. All that will be linked in the description. You're gonna want to go to the second link after that. It will take you to this Google Drive form. You're gonna want to right click this and then click download and let it download. Alright, once it's open, it's gonna look something like this. So you can leave it like this if you want and just have it like this. And if this is what you want, all you gotta do to change the number is double click right here and go to the text, select this, and type in 13 or whatever you want it to be. What I do, and I have this all caps in the background red, and then I have this red as well. I'll tell you how to do it. If you want to make this all caps, you're gonna want to double click on highlights. It'll select all of it, and type in highlights, all caps. Same for the second highlights, it'll scroll over it, and type, and then type in highlights again. Make sure the second one is all highlighted, the yellow one, and then go up here till you see this, click it, and you can make it red or whatever color. I like to do red. And boom, that's how you get it all caps. And if you want to make this red, you're gonna want to double click 21, highlight all this, go to the blue, and I have my own color code to make it dark red, and then click OK. But you might be like, why does it look purple? It's because click the arrow right there, the arrow right there, and the arrow right there. Go down, and right here, you're gonna want to change the glow effects. So I'm gonna paste in the same number, and boom, there you go. Now it's all red. You can make it whatever color you want, but this is my intro. All right, so you're gonna want to exit out of all this, so click the arrow right there, and you're gonna want to go into a solo, go by the spot where you want to get your cinematic, and then go in replay mode and then record a nice cinematic from it. And once you have the cinematic, drag it into After Effects, and you can drag it into right there. Just put it in right there, and then you're gonna want to drag it to the very bottom like that. What I like to do and what you should do. So drag this to right there, and now as you can see, this part's right there. So you're gonna want to drag this to that edge, drag this right there, and you want to make sure this is on that edge. So make sure they're in a perfect line of how they were, but there's just a little open space ahead of it. Now drag this to the beginning and keep on dragging this all the way over. I'm new to After Effects, so I don't know an easier way to do this, but keep on dragging it until you get to the beginning of your cinematic. So the beginning of my cinematic is right here, so you're gonna want to let it just render it out. So you're gonna want it just to render the frames real quick. All right guys, the final effect for this intro is to make the background more contrasty. So go up here to effects and presets, go to right here and type in curves. Now you see color correction curves. You can just drag it right onto the background, and once you're here, what I usually do, you drag this line up to like around there and drag this up. So drag this, like, see, it goes crazy, right? So it can go all the way to that. So you drag this like somewhere around there. You can keep it going, but it's just something like this at the end of the day. Just make it look contrasty and cool. All right, so don't worry about the end, like cutting the end, like it's fine. It just plays, it's just gonna render this once you render it. Now to render all this, go up to the top to composition, click add to render queue, go to the very bottom, uncheck these two, just have the very bottom one, and then go to the very bottom one, click lostness, and then make the format QuickTime, and the channels RGB plus alpha. Now click OK, and then render, and then let it render. All right, now you're gonna want to open up Vegas Pro and then drag the intro on like this, and once it's here, click Control U on it and delete the audio portions. So now you just have the clip. Now you just have the intro. Now what you're gonna want to do is right click, remove up velocity, and go right before the letters, and then double click add a point. Same for this side, right before the letters end. So right here, and now go to the very edge on this one, double click again to add another dot. Now what you're gonna want to do is hire this one to 300, and this one can go to like 200. The two middle ones, so right click, set it to 75% each. Right click, set to 75. Now you're gonna want to add whatever song is out at the moment, like really out. Cold World's a good song, and it's pretty out, so I'm gonna add Cold World. So I'm gonna split it.
Just sticking to the plans I made.
So it's gonna start right there. Listen.
5 years still sticking to the plans I made.
It's gonna start right there. The intro is gonna start right here. So what you're gonna want to do is mark it with M. Now what I'm gonna do is split it and put it to the front, just for the sake of this tutorial. And I'll let this play out.
Plans I made when I was a kid. Told moms I can't go live no normal.
And it ends right there.
Plans I made when I was a kid. Told moms I can't go live no normal.
Right where it says normal for Cold World. So right there. That's where I'm gonna end it. Right there. So mark it again.
Plans I made when I was a kid.
So now what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to make the intro fit into the markers. So hold control. As you're holding control, drag the edge of this to fit the markers like that, and it should look like this.
Plans I made when I was a kid. Told moms I can't go live no normal life. Won't stop till I'm
like that. Alright guys, for your beat drop, you're gonna want to add one of your best clips that you haven't used so far. So I'm gonna use this one. So split it like around here, right when it ends, and play and mark the beat drop.
you when I was down bad.
So that's beat drop. So I'm gonna click M to mark it. Now make sure beat drop is clicked. Make sure it's marked with the blinking marker, and drag this, and right the frame right before the pellets is what I like to stop on. So the frame right before the pellets. So right there, this frame right here, and I'll this drag it 15 frames over. So to right here. Save as you're going. Now go to transitions, and here, this is optional to do this, but then type in Swoosh pen. When you find Swoosh pen, just you drag it onto the fade, so right on it, and make sure it's set to these settings, and now it should look like this. So right when it hits beat drop, let's see.
Normal life won't stop till I'm rich. Said where were you when I was down bad?
You might want to turn up the game audio, so turn this up to like something like that, because the music's really loud. So let's see.
Normal life won't stop till I'm rich. Said where were you when I was down bad? And
So boom, right there. Now
down bad and I'm
so end the clip. So mark the second beat drop. Let's see where the second beat drop is.
down bad and the money coming to me so fast. Left the whole she a bitch.
That's the second beat drop. So mark it. Now you have an idea of where to end this clip. So I would end it like around there. Now, right click properties, disable reset, disable preset. But you should do this because it makes the clip it makes it look better. The first step to editing this is right click, insert velocity, add velocity. Now double click right on the beat drop, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames to the right, and then double click, and now go back to the beat drop marker and go 1, 2, 3, 4 frames to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and now double click. So go to the main beat drop one now, right click it, set to, and either 175 or you can just set it to 200. So, and then go to the right one and set it to 50. So right click, it's 50. Now it should look like this.
Where were you when I was down bad? And where were you when I was down bad? And the money.
Now go to the beat drop marker and split the clip right there. Now what I like to do with my beat drop clips is add the shockwave effect. Now to add this, what you're gonna want to do, go insert a video track. So the link to the shockwave effect will be in the description. But once you find it, what you're gonna want to do is hold control and drag it smaller so it's faster. Once you get it, it's automatically super slow. So you're gonna want to hold control and drag it. You're gonna want to add an effect on it. So go to video effects, type in BCC LED. You're gonna want to have BCC LED and then drag the effect on. And my settings for it is this. If you want to copy, and to save it, all you gotta do is name it up here and then click the save button right here. But this is my shockwave. Now what you're gonna want to do, make sure the shockwave effect is on its own layer, and I showed you how to do that was to right click, insert video track, and then now it's here. And now what you're gonna want to do is, if you don't see all this, go to the 3 bars, edit visible button set, show all, okay, and then click on the A, and then click screen. So it looks like this. You might want to lower the BCC LED, so like that. But now there's another step. Right click this again, insert video track to add another one. Now you're gonna want to add some shake, drag the shake on. Here is my shake effects if you want to copy them. So here's my shake effects if you want to copy them. If you copy them, go up here, name it, and then save. Click the save button. Now what you're gonna want to do to every clip when you add shake is click the animate button right there, right by amplitude, the amplitude animate button. Go to the very end, drag this to 0. Flicker is an optional effect, but I recommend you to add it and drag it on. And here's my flicker settings if you want to copy. Now make sure to save it. Go up here, name it, and then save it. And then for flicker, go to amplitude, the amplitude animate, click it. Now go down till you see the flicker one. Go to the very end, drag this to 0. And now click Control C on the clip, Control V, then click Control U, and then delete the audio portion and drag this to the top like this. Now you have 2 of the same thing, and you might be like, why did you do that? You're about to see. Go back to this part and go right before you pull out your gun or whatever you're doing. So boom, I pull out my gun right there. So what I'm gonna do is split right there, add an effect called black and white. So add it on and then make it 0, but then animate, go to the middle. You have to go to the middle, and then I recommend 0.9. You can do 0.8, whatever you want, but I do 0.9, and then exit out of it, and then it should look like this. It goes black, it just slowly goes black. Add black and white to the bottom one and just make it 0.9 fully. Or I forgot to say, but make sure you go to the bottom clip and click crop, and make sure you're in the very beginning and drag this all the way to the bottom of the gun bar. Go to the very end, drag this back down to the normal state. Now do the same for the top one. Drag this all the way up, go to the very end, and drag it all the way back down. Drag it up to the gun bar, go to the very end, and then make sure it's dragged all the way back down. Alright guys, this is the hardest part, so bear with me. Click crop on the top clip. Now go down to where it says mask and make sure you're in the very beginning. Make sure mask is highlighted in gray and is checked. Now go up here and click this circle. So hold left click and make sure this is around the crosshair. So right there. Now go here, make this in, make feather type in, and feather percent 16 or 20. I like to do 16. And now drag this to like say 12, stuff like that. And now to make a perfect circle, you're going to go out farther like this. Make sure there's make sure there's 4 yellow squares on the edges. Hold shift and move this up to around there. And move this up to around there. Drag, make sure you make a perfect circle around the edges. Make sure it just touches the edges. So make sure it's around the edges like this. Now you can exit out of it and see if it looks good. That looks good. Make sure it's synced with the Shockwave, and all you see is black and white around them. Now, if it's not, go back to the crop. Now you can drag it farther back like this, but it's already good, so we're gonna keep it there. Now what you're gonna want to do is type in the effect brightness and contrast, and add brighter, more contrast. Drag it onto the clip. That's what I like to do. And then type in glow, s_glow. Drag and glow. Here's my glow effects if you want to copy, and if you do copy, make sure to name it and save it. Now go to brightness, the animate on brightness, go to the very bottom, go to the very end, and drag brightness to 0. And now this is only if you want, and I like to do this. I have to add color correction secondary, because that's where you find saturation. I drag it on the top clip, turn up saturation to around, around 1.9k. Now go to the animate, go to the very bottom, go to the very end, highlight over the text of saturation and click 1 and enter. So I'm gonna go through it slowly and it should look like that. And if you go into the description, I included download to the swoosh sound effect. I put it right on the kill, and you're gonna want to turn up the audio for it. So make sure the swoosh sound effects are on its own layer, and turn it up to around, I like to turn it up to around 6, to be honest. I turn it up a little high. Now listen to it.
When I was down bad and the money coming to me so fast.
Like that, and boom, you just did the beat drop. Alright, so now you're gonna want to get your next clip and drag it on, and now split right before the end. Drag it on. Go to the second beat drop marker, and make sure you go to the frame right before the pellets of the hit. So right here. Now I'm gonna click right here and split. And drag it to the end. Now I'm gonna mark the third beat drop real quick.
Up straightforward with it, I don't go back. Everybody living better.
The third beat drop's right here. So I'm gonna mark it. So now I got an idea of where to end this clip, so I'll end it like right around here. So go to the link in the description to download the transition pack, and credit to Crayo for making this transition pack. What you're gonna want to do is once you get to this link, click to transition presets, and then I use the RGB transitions. You don't have to, but that's what I use. And now what you're gonna need before you download this is Preset Manager 2.0. Search up how to download Preset Manager 2.0 for Vegas Pro. Once it's downloaded, come back to here and download this. And there is tons of tutorials on how to put transition packs into the Preset Manager and put them onto your Vegas Pro. There's tutorials on YouTube for that. Now download this. So once you've done that and you're back to here, what you're gonna want to do, you're gonna want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames and split it. And you usually would do the same for this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But so boom, then you split right there, right? And then you just have these. If you're doing a transition, but the first transition clip is a shockwave clip, so cut the bottom one completely off, and you're gonna want to do it to the top one. Split right there. Go to FX, add an effect, and these are the RGB ones. And I usually start from top to bottom, so I click on bottom left A, okay, and now go to this one, FX, and B, add okay, and you should click this. A clean transition like that. Now you're gonna want to right click properties and disable the resample. That's what I do. Now right click internet velocity. Make sure you're on the beat drop marker. Double click data point. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames to the right. Double click. Go and then go back to the beat drop marker. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Clip to the left. Double click. Keep that normal, but then go to the beat drop. Make it either 175 or 200. I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna set it to 200. Now go to the one to the far right. Right click. Set to 50. Now I should click that. Now make sure to split it right on the velocity marker. Go to crop, drag it up to the gun bar, go to the very end, drag it all the way back down. Now add shake. I already showed you my shake settings. Then go to amplitude, go to the very end, drag this to 0. Same for flicker. Go to flicker. I already showed you my flicker settings. Go to the very end. Now drag it on the clip. Click animate from amplitude. Go to all the way down. Go to the very end. Drag this to 0. Now type in glow. Now the effect you can use is aqua effect. This is a cool effect that you can use. And then so here's my aqua glow settings if you want to copy them. Now if you do copy them, make sure to name it, then save it. Now go to brightness, animate, go to the very end, drag this to 0, and it should look like this. Now you add this too, so Control C, Control V, and make sure it on the tallest point that's synced with the marker. Also, for every single clip, I add distort RGB, not for the shockwave clips, but for every single clip, I add distort RPG. And you can copy these settings if you want, right here. If you do, name it and save it. Now, click animate for the amount. Go to the very bottom, drag to the very end. Now don't drag this to 0. Just highlight it and then click 0, and then boom. And boom, you're already done with the second clip. Alright, so you're gonna want to drag the third clip on, put the audio down to the bottom, split on the very end, drag this in, go on the third marker, and make sure you make it synced right on the frame before pellets. And drag this to the end right there. And then mark the fourth beat drop now. So the fourth beat drop is right here, so mark it. Now you got an idea of where to end this clip. Oh, and the clip right there. And now we got this. So now what you can do is add the transitions for here. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 right here, and then 10 over here. Okay, now go to FX, add effects. Now I do the second one now, add, okay. Same with this one, now I do B, add, okay. So what I did for this clip is go right when your shotgun comes out, so add the velocity, so insert velocity, go to the marker, same as always, double click right on the marker, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames to the right, double click. Now go back to the marker, 1, 2, 3, 4 frames to the left, double click. Now go to the marker velocity dot, make it 200 or 175, whatever you want. Now go to the far right one, right click, 50. So now split right here, go to crop, bring it right up to the gun bar, go to the very end, drag this all the way back down, click X. Now start adding all the effects. So I already showed you my flicker, so add flicker, animate, go to the very end, drag this to 0, add shake, drag to the very end, drag this to 0. Now glow, what I did for this clip is I added a pink glow, and you turn it up a little bit. So here's the pink glow settings. Now brightness is whatever you choose. So I'm putting it right here for the sake of this tutorial. And I'm gonna click animate, go to the very bottom, go to the end, drag this to 0. Now I also am gonna add a distort RGB, add it on, animate, go to the very end, go to the very bottom, go to the very end of this, highlight it, click 0, enter. And also don't forget to add Control C, Control V, swoosh sound, and make sure you're on the marker and it's right on the top arch, so like that. The biggest arch, so like that. It should look like this. Alright, so make sure to add your next clip. Split it like right around here. Make sure the audio is dragged down. Now go on the marker, drag this on. Make sure it's set to a frame, the frame right before the pellets. So like right there. Split right here, drag this to the end. Now mark the next speed drop.
Come up, I gotta get a bag for the fam now, but I got no money to leave.
Next speed drop is right here, so I'm gonna mark it. Now you got an idea of where to end the clip, so end the clip like around like right here. Now right click, properties, disable resample. You don't have to do that, but that's what I do. Now save as you're going, make sure. Now add transitions, so go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Split, same for this side. Split. Now click FX, add, and do the next one. So right A, add, okay. For this one, FX, right B, add, okay, right there. So I'm gonna go insert envelope velocity, double click right here, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames to the right, double click, go back here, go 1, 2, 3, 4 frames to the left, double click, go back to this, right click, set to, you can do 175 or 200, I'm gonna do 200, and I'm gonna go to here, set this one to 50. Now split, right on the marker, go to crop, drag this to the gun bar, and then drag this all the way back down. Now add your normal effects like shake, drag it on, go to amplitude, go to enemy, drag to the very end, drag to 0. Same for flicker, drag it on, go to amplitude, click enemy, go to the very end, drag to 0. And now add glow, and I'm gonna add the purple effect now, which this effect is like all purple. And then here's the settings if you want to copy. Now click animate, go to the very end, drag this back to 0. Now also at the same time you can add color correction, and you can go to mid, and you can add like a purple color correction on it. So like this. So click Control C, click animate. Now go to the very bottom, go to the very end of mid, and highlight all this. Click 0, enter. Now it should look like this. Now that clip's good. Okay, now for the final clip, so add it on, and now make sure now on the marker, make sure it's a frame right before the pellets. So right here, split, drag this to the very end, and now so right click, properties, disable resample. You don't have to, that's disable resample, that's what I do. Save as you're going. Now for the transition, go 10 frames on both clips. Alright, now go to FX, add, and now do whatever's next. So left A, add, okay. Go here, add FX, add effect, left B, add, okay. And then boom. So right click, insert velocity. So double click, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames to the right, double click. You go back to the marker, go 1, 2, 3, 4 frames to the left, double click. Go to the beat drop marker, set to 200 or 175, then go to the far right, right click, set to 50. Split right here, crop it, make sure it goes right under the gun bar. Go to the very end, drag this all the way down to there. Now add shake onto it, go to amplitude, animate, drag to the very end, drag this to 0. Same for flicker, drag it on, go to amplitude, animate, go all the way down, go to the very end, drag this to 0. And now add glow, and then now I added glow, so add glow on. You already know my glow effects. Go to animate, go to the very bottom, go to the very end, drag this to 0. And I also added distort RGB onto that. So add distort RGB on. You already know the settings that I use. Go to animate, go to the very bottom, drag to the very end, highlight this, click 0, enter, and boom. Now drag the swoosh sound, Control C, Control V, click the marker, and make sure the arch on the sound effect is right on the marker, right there. So boom, that's the montage. Alright guys, for project and render settings, here's my project settings. I'll have it in 4K, this off, frame rate 60, pixel format 8, full resolution rendering quality best, pushable type Gaussian, this to none, resample mode to disable resample, that's important. Now my render settings, yeah, I either rendered 1440p or 4K, but my render settings, and regardless, so 3840 by 2160 is 4K, frame rate the highest it can be, profile high. Now the bitrate at 240,000 each. Encode mode, NV encoder, preset high quality, RC mode, VBR high quality. Go to project, and video rendering quality is best. Those are my render settings. Alright, so when you want to render your montage, go to the very end of it and make sure all of it is selected. It's all in blue, just the montage. Then go to file, render as, click what you want to render it with. You can name it and then click render and it'll render it. Alright guys, I just finished editing the whole thing. As you could see, I spent a lot of time editing this. So if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to slap a like on it and share this to your friends. Please comment down below if you enjoyed. And yeah, I'm uploading the montage soon, and thank you guys for watching. Peace out, boys. 5K soon. Peace.